people that also share similar concerns is the reason that we have been successful. I believe that maybe just individuals are not very good. The way we are becoming good is when we are together.
Community, absolutely. So I mentioned the AI race with China before. So, love to hear your opinion. Are we going to win, or is China going to win?
I believe that the humanity will win. I don't think that. Better stop kind of competing between different regions. I believe that at the moment all the data and information that we use to build AI models is shared. Many of the tools that China is using to build AI models are also used here in the US and other countries. So there is a lot of cross-pollination and collaborative research. Like I was mentioning, these articles, papers that were published, they were originally published by Google and OpenAI scientists, and they also collaborate with Chinese scientists. So I don't see that scientific community wants to create borders.
Well, that's fantastic. That's encouraging. So I think that's part of the politicization of AI, which doesn't have to be. If the scientists are agreeing we need to develop this technology collaboratively as a scientific community for the benefit of humanity, then that's what we should focus on.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you're focusing on as a scientist, right? So
yeah.
That's hopeful.
Yeah.
That's a great message.
Yeah, and people almost ChatGPT, when they built their first big large language models, relatively quickly the model leaked out because somebody put it on USB drive and put it on the internet. So I'm sure that many people also who are dealing with these AI tools, similar to the scientists who are dealing with developing the nuclear bomb in Los Alamos, are feeling their internal pressure and their internal philosophy about meaning of life, what is the right thing to do. So as much as corporations and politicians are trying to push in one way, at the end, these machine learning algorithms are developed by humans, which can put them in USB drive and take them out.
Okay, so there is hope. Let's just bring it to the States. So you talked about geothermal. We're sitting here in the south of our state with the Permian Basin, which is one of the last strongholds of oil reserves. But yet we're sitting on a little gold mine of geothermal that's being untapped. And your technology, is it able to tap it? And will we as a state be leading geothermal energy development? Because right now we only have one plant.
We have the potential. The issue is that we don't have potential users because geothermal is practically potentially developed everywhere. It can be developed with different amount of expenses almost everywhere. The good thing in New Mexico, we can tap it relatively cheaply. However, we don't have the power lines and we don't have the need from big economy at the moment to use it. However, data centers are very promising. You know that Facebook...
Data centers would build the infrastructure to harvest the geothermal energy, right? So data centers could be good for the state. And with your technology, you're going to help determine the least environmental impact of where those happen and where they're positioned. Right now, I think there's one going up in southern New Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Part of the big government plan.
Yeah. But yeah, the key is really collecting data, getting more data, getting more collaborative efforts. The other problem in general with subsurface data, there is a lot of limitation because of proprietary issues. Companies which collect data, they don't like to share this data. There is no regulation which forces them to share the data. So there is a conundrum of issues that needs to be addressed to solve the puzzle efficiently.
Okay, cool. So we can open it up to the audience. Is there any questions from the crowd? Yes, Gay.
I'm going to follow on what we're talking about. First of all, very exciting what you're doing. Thank you. So, the authenticity or the integrity of the data. We're seeing in politics that, this administration is wiping out the climate change science out of the EPA, etc. So how do we secure so that we don't have garbage in, garbage out? So I know there's a certain, what is your concern and your vision about how to keep the data integrity? Because we're seeing a lot of things, the alternative facts. And how do you keep that out of the system?
For science data,
Repeat the question, please.
yeah, the question is integrity of the data, how to make sure that machine learning models that we're training are not garbage in, garbage out, because if the data is corrupted when it gets in the machine learning model, our predictions could be corrupted as well. And one thing is adding physics, as we discussed, adding numerical models, adding analytical expressions which characterize the processes to best of our understanding as a subject matter expert is a good way to address this challenge. Overall, about data stewardship, I'm currently much more concerned about being these kind of firewalls between proprietary and public data set. This is my bigger concern, and we really don't have regulations about science data. There is no federal or state requirement how to report data, what will be the quality controls, what kind of net information needs to come with the data. There are a lot of attempts, most of them are grassroots or by big companies that are trying to steer the process in one way or another, but it's a really big challenge to just put the data in a good systematic way for everybody to be able to access it. So I agree that this is a challenge.
So what I'm learning and hearing is that the scientific community, which I don't think it's recognized in the conversations around AI in the mainstream media. It's the engineering and tech community, big tech, and all the controversy, all the money, all the innovation, seemingly innovation, and proprietary